Alright, hey there guys, Agent DeCosta here, aka JediBro95, coming at you guys with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about the All-Star Game. Now, the All-Star Game has been floating around, is a huge hot button topic, as it always is around this time of year, with the All-Star, All-Star announcements being made and shit like that. It's always a hot button issue. Some people claim that players got snubbed, some people claim that they didn't, some people claim that certain players didn't deserve it, la la la, whatever. It is what it is. People will argue till their dying breath that certain players should have been all-stars when certain players should not have been. Case in point, last year, I remember everybody crying till their fucking mom came in and put a Similac fucking soother in their goddamn mouth that Devin Booker should have been an all-star last year, to which my response was, no, he should not have been. He should not, but he got in, so whatever. I'm not really tripping about it. However, this year, I think Devin Booker should have been in, and that's one of the biggest reasons one of the things I want to talk about with All-Star appearances is why I don't think they really matter as much as people try to harp them out to be. Don't get me wrong, they do matter in certain instances. I'm not going to sit there and say completely outright All-Star appearances don't matter in the grand scheme of things, la-di-la-di-la. To be honest, they can. In my personal opinion, I believe that All-Star appearances can hold some weight, especially when we're debating about the greatest players in NBA history. Because when you look at a player's career, I personally find that if you are a consistent all-star caliber player, like say in 19 years in your NBA career, or like say, let's go in like 15 to 16 years in NBA career, you got like 13 to 14 all-star appearances. In my opinion, that's impressive because regardless of the talent that come in and do well and all that shit, you're still consistently viewed as a top player in the NBA worthy of an All-Star game appearance. So I think in those kind of conversations, those can really matter and be impactful in certain ways. Now, on the other hand, if you are a player that made 3 All-Star appearances in 10 years, I don't think that's really impressive. Because more likely speaking, you're just getting in because either a player got hurt or you had a good year, which you definitely deserve to be, but ultimately you weren't consistently considered an all-star caliber player. And same goes for this year with Devin Booker, with the double standard that he happens to go into. That was actually a really bad transition. This goes for Devin Booker. Now, Devin Booker last year, everyone was saying that he was snubbed. He did not deserve to be in the All-Star game. He was completely robbed. And like I said earlier, my response is no, he wasn't. He was not robbed of being an All-Star. In my opinion, he should not have been an All-Star last season. But hey, someone got injured. I can't remember who it was that got hurt and had to miss out on the game. So Devin Booker took his spot. So I was like, okay, can Booker fans shut the fuck up now? Because he got an all-star appearance. Okay, he got his all-star game. And I saw people trying to say that he was better than Donovan Mitchell, to which, again, my response is absolutely not. He isn't. Devin Booker is not better than Donovan Mitchell. Honestly, ever since Donovan's rookie year, he's been better than Devin Booker, in my personal opinion. And I'm willing to debate this till the cows come home, because Devin Booker, until last season, in my opinion, was severely fucking overrated. But hey, this year, he's actually playing very well. The Suns are winning games thanks to the addition of CP3, and also DeAndre Ayton's playing better. Devin Booker's become a lot more efficient in his scoring and much more productive on that side of the ball. So this year he should have been an all-star, and he's actually proving to be that guy that can be a starting caliber, a star on a playoff team, because he's doing that literally this year. So he has my respect for that, and I've calmed down on the Devin Booker hate, but when Anthony Davis was revealed as the starter, as the reserve over Devin Booker, again, Devin Booker fans, including myself, I'm not gonna lie, were screaming that he was robbed. Well, I wasn't saying he was robbed, but a lot of Booker fans were saying that he was robbed or that he should have been in the game. And me being, knowing that Anthony Davis is not coming back until after the All-Star game, I was sitting there and saying, Booker fans, calm down. He is going to get in the game. He is going to replace Anthony Davis. And lo and behold, yesterday or today, actually last night at the time yesterday at the time of recording this video, or a couple of days ago, either or, Booker was renamed to replace Anthony Davis in the All-Star game. And I'm like, okay, I told you guys. Now can you shut up, Booker fans? Because he was going to get in the All-Star game. Because everybody knew Anthony Davis was not going to play the game. And it was in his best interest to not play the game because of the current state of his injury. He needs to take the time. He needs to recover his injury so that way he can come back in the second half of the season and make that championship push, because the Lakers right now are not looking good without Anthony Davis. The Lakers are struggling significantly without him. Now, part of the reason is because they are missing Dennis Schroeder, who I would argue is as big of a piece to the Lakers' success as much as LeBron and Anthony Davis. Maybe not on the same caliber, but he's just as much of an impact, has just as much of an impact with his scoring ability and his overall ball handling skills. And his actual underrated defense. Now that I've actually gotten to see Dennis Schroeder play a little bit more, because he is on the Lakers and I've just never really watched OKC games like that, I've actually started to notice that he's actually a sneakily underrated defensive player, and the Lakers desperately need that right now, because they have kind of regressed in the defense. In fact, last night against the Utah Jazz, the Jazz obliterated the Lakers from behind the arc, and it wasn't even a freaking contest. But with his ball handling and defensive capabilities, the Lakers desperately need that right now, and when he comes back, he'll provide that punch, which will be wonderful. But however, everybody knew AD is gonna be out until the second half of the year, and it was in his best interest to not play. So when Booker was snubbed, I was saying, guys, calm down. He's gonna be replaced. And then when he came out, I was like, told you guys, he was going to replace Anthony Davis. So this is not me saying that Devin Booker is not deserving to even. He's not a good player. I mean, he's a good player. He's just. Before this year, he really wasn't as impactful as a lot of people made him out to be, or as great as he could be. Now this year, with the addition of Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton elevating his game, and the Suns actually getting a competent roster around Devin Booker, he is actually winning games. They are one of the top teams in the West. I think they're like the 5th seed in the Western Conference at the moment. So it's a big deal. It's a good thing for Devin Booker. But, in the last couple of years and whatnot, I just never thought he was all-star caliber because of the fact that he was just not winning games. And I know you're probably thinking the same thing. Well, what about Trae Young last year? He was a starter. And my thought on that was he shouldn't have been in the all-star game last year. I think it should have went to Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine should have been an all-star last year. And granted, again, he is an all-star this year, so thank goodness for that. But I think he should have been in the all-star game. Trae Young should not have been in the All-Star game last year. So, what am I trying to say with this video? Well, one, random All-Star selections aren't impressive. Sure, consistently being as great of a player as you are, leading to All-Star appearances, is really great. It's what makes LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, it's one of the things that contribute to their greatest of all time arguments, because of the fact that they are consistently all-star caliber players throughout their careers. However, people need to stop putting so much weight and so much emphasis on these all-star appearances, especially when it comes to random all-star selections, because people in that situation are not good. Like, it doesn't matter to me like that. Take, for example, again, somebody like a Kyle Lowry. Don't get me wrong, I like Kyle Lowry. He is a fantastic player, but he's made, ever since he got to the Eastern Conference in 2013, he's been a perennial all-star candidate. But it's like, you had to go to the Eastern Conference to be an all-star, where the guard position in the Eastern Conference at the time was Dwayne Wade. I'm trying to think of all the guards who were in the East at that time. Rajon Rondo. But even then, Rondo was past his peak by that time. Dwayne Wade, Rondo, John Wall. You get what I mean? Some of these guards are not really the best guards, whereas guys in the West, Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, and now in the Western Conference for guards, you got guys like Alex Caruso. No, I'm just kidding about that one. But even in the Western Conference for guards, you got like guys who Jamal Murray can be an all-star caliber player one day if he gets his fucking shit together. Like you got these talented guards, and if you're consistently making all-star appearances in that situation, or in a, consistently being an all-star, no matter the circumstances, then it just shows you're just that great of a player. Again, the all-star game sometimes can be a popularity contest, is why Alex Caruso got more fucking votes than De'Aaron Fox, and that actually leads me to a quick final point that I want to make. The NBA needs to get rid of as much of the get rid of the power the fan vote has. Don't get me wrong, we can vote for the All-Stars. That's what we do. We watch the games. But they need to be like 20% of the fan vote, 25% of the fan vote, or split it up evenly, 33, 33, 33 between coaches, media, and votes. Don't have 50% vote for the players be the fans, and then have 50%, and then the other 50% being rated by people who are either in the NBA circle or cover the NBA as a job. Just don't allow that, because when you have that situation, you have guys like Alex Caruso, who was getting more All-Star votes than De'Aaron Fox. I said DeAndre. You guys like Zaza Pachulia, who at one time was getting more votes than Gordon Hayward in 2017. And this was Gordon Hayward having his career best year in 2017. You also have situations where guys undeserving of all-star appearances getting votes, like Carmelo Anthony in the latter half of his prime, because the Knicks were a terrible garbage-ass team, but yet Melo was still getting voted in. And you get rid of the whole popularity contest of it, because then you got guys that are role players that are getting votes just because they're playing on a fan favorite team. It's the Lakers with Caruso, with the Warriors it was Zaza Pachulia in 2017. And those are the only really notable ones I could truly think of. But even then, guys like Zach Levine, they were getting one of the biggest reasons they got snubbed was because of the fact that he's just not as popular in the NBA as he is now. But last year he wasn't as popular as guys made him out to be, or that the fans thought. And it's just unfortunate that at the end of the day, majority of the vote power comes from fans, and they view it as a popularity contest. One All-Star I could argue wasn't even deserving of All-Star this year. In my personal opinion, Ben Simmons didn't deserve to be an All-Star this year, because granted, he is one of the best, if not the best defensive player in the entire league, but his overall production and impact is more so overshadowed by Joel Embiid and his dominance this year. Joel Embiid is the front runner for the MVP in my opinion, which is crazy to think about when you really stop to think about it, because he legit as a side note, can be the first center since Shaquille O'Neal to win the MVP award, if I recall this correctly. Yeah, because Dirk was a power forward, Duncan was a power forward, but he was listed at center. So if you want to count Tim Duncan, then he's the first center since 2003 to win an MVP. But even then, that's still mildly impressive that it's been almost 2 decades since we've had a center win MVP. But that's part of the reason Ben Simmons isn't really popping off the screen and not really being felt on the court, because of Joel Embiid's dominance and his growth as a player this season. And when you have someone like that, obviously he's going to get overshadowed, and so therefore Ben Simmons, even though his defensive impact is huge, his offensive impact is not there, and his production and impact is overall just not very noticeable. So I would just say that, I would personally argue that Ben Simmons does not deserve to be an All-Star this year, but he got it. I'm not going to get upset at that, because at the end of the day, I don't get mad at players at factors outside of a player's control like that. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, but anyways, that is going to be the end of this video. This video was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, because I had a little bit to say about this topic. But if you have anything to say about this, if you agree, if you disagree, if you want to add on anything to this, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, hit the like button if you guys did enjoy this video. Subscribe if you guys are new, if you want to see more NBA discussion content like this. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.